I'd like to kind of dive a little deeper into, how you felt about it at that time when after you
Yeah.
launched and put in a lot of time into it, and which definitely I agree is a huge cost, especially if you're a freelancer because that's time that you could be spending earning money. Um, and then and then your husband put a lot of time in it. Your now husband, right? Congratulations, because you
Thank
just
you.
recently got back from honeymoon. Um, but anyways, he ended up putting a lot of time in it and getting frustrated and quitting. Um, and so I'm sure he would consider that to not have been a great use of his time, maybe. We'll leave that up to him, though. I don't want to put any words in his mouth. Um, but anyways, how did it make you feel at that point when you kind of got to that crossroads of do I go on or not?
Well, it was very, I guess, kind of confusing because, I had once had a lot of enthusiasm for this project, and now it was just kind of like a monkey on my back, because you'd get, bug reports from users or design issues, and I'm like, man, do I really have to update that? I have 50 other things to do today, and I'm just like, what's the point of updating it because 5 people will notice it, And we were trying to make a little bit of money to help kind of, you know, equal out the time we spent on it, and that wasn't going well either. So we were making a couple bucks every couple months. So I was really disappointed because I thought that the community needed something like this. I think the major issue was that at the exact same time we launched, Forest launched. Like I had actually talked to the main guy from Forest, and I was like, man, if we had known about each other's projects, we could have combined it,
Yeah.
to one. So I think that was our biggest issue is because everybody was going to Forest because they launched like maybe a month or 2 weeks before us.
Okay.
But it was very disappointing because it was my baby and it was my first, personal app, and I had assumed that would launch me into stardom. So
You're still on the path. Um, I think that this is really. I mean, I want to emphasize that great example because um, there's so many entrepreneurs come to that crossroads of do I go on or do I give up? Because there's definitely a you know kind of a lovey-dovey phase of high motivation when you get into developing some sort of project, whether it's online or whatever, just developing the initial stages of a business or whatever your project is. You're totally all about it and really pumped up and enthused, and then that really, I mean, that dwindles to kind of an even keel kind of a sensation, and then at that point, if things aren't kind of rolling, you can really get um, you know discouraged, like you say. Um, so I think this is a great example. So tell on that note, talk to me about what did you, I guess, mechanisms or tools that you had or used to get past it, to really encourage yourself to push forward.
um, well, what's really helpful is my community that I have around me because I actually did a couple blog posts on giving up on your projects or thinking about giving up, and I had so many people come to me with their stories and what they did. That was really the biggest tool because it inspired me to keep going. And I mean, it's kind of different if it was supposed to be my main source of income. I probably would have given up at that point.
Yeah.
But because it was a side project, and I'm still, I mean, I still don't make any money off of it. But because it was just something on the side, I decided to go ahead and push forward because I do truly believe it's something useful to developers. However long it'll take them to recognize it.
Yeah.
um, but I do believe it's something the community needs because developers just don't have anything. So just having people around me that were like, hey, don't give up. I really enjoy your project. I promise to use it more if that'll keep it running. I mean, that was so useful.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a really really cool encouragement, especially if you have people that are actually, on the site, not necessarily posting to it every day, but trafficking it some, and they know about it, and very powerful. So, yeah, that's great. Um, I love that story. I don't. Let's stop with that. I think that's and let people, really understand about how to, proactively kind of surround themselves with that a group of supportive people in their as they pursue their dreams, and not to hide their dreams, and ask for help, um, so that they're able to get past those hard either crossroads or roadblocks or whatever that they come across.